In this lesson, we'll talk about clocks. As you already know, clocks display the time. Android provides some clock widgets so your app can show the user the time. As a lot of people use their phones for watches, this is a nice feature. So we'll start by adding an analog clock to our screen, and below it a digital clock. Now, there's not a lot else that they do because they're showing the current time of the device. But we can make it look a little bit better. So I've already got some drawable resources here for the clock's dial, its hours hand, and its minutes hand. So I can set those properties on the clock. There's the dial. And the hours. And the minutes. And you can see I've pretty dramatically changed the appearance of that clock. So let's see what that looks like at runtime and how it runs. And you can see the appearance of our clock, and it's keeping actual time, as is the digital clock. So those are pretty basic display controls. There's one other control of interest in that category, a chronometer. And a chronometer is basically a stopwatch. So it's going to tell us the amount of time that has gone by since the application started, or the start time that we choose. So let's take a look at how we can get that start time that we choose. I'm going to add a couple of buttons for a start and a stop. And a little text so we don't get confused. And we need to hook those buttons in code. So we've got the button resources, and we're going to have click events for each one of those. And then we've established a chronometer variable. And now we need the button clicks. Now the start is a little bit interesting because we're going to set the base time of the widget to the elapsed real time. So what we're saying is that if the app has already been on for a minute, we're going to set the base time of the widget to that minute, which means that it will essentially start at 0. Now if you don't set this, what the widget will display is the time since the app started. And then the second button is just simply stopping the control. So we'll run that. And we'll start it, and you can see it counting off time. And stop, and restart, and it restarts at 0 because we put in that base time. So that's how to display some time widgets.